Alright, let's turn down the volume a bit. And we'll get this stream started. I have the Rex. That can go away. We have a women's history background here that just popped up. I think that background did exist at some point for an event previously as well. Anyway. Let's go. So, yeah, I'm casting the finals for Explorers of HyperRandom, which was basically the lower league for Master of HyperRandom. And I actually participated as well in this and lost most of my games. But this is the grand final. And we have 7 Rex here. And, well, actually I don't know the result. I sort of know the result, but it was posted incorrectly and I didn't look at it too closely, so I can't tell you who ultimately wins, but I do know that there are some exciting games. We're going to spectate with Capture Age, I would say. Let me see if I can get that to work. It's going to take a second, but we should have Capture Age popping up. There we go. There we go. Replays. Load. We want... Oh boy. Oh no, this is correct, except they don't have the name of the file. Oh, I don't like that. Let's see if it just... what's happening in the background here. Let me minimize Capture Age for a second. Ah, there we go. It's loading in the background. Yeah, you can... There you guys... There you go. You guys can have Capture Age. And I want Capture Age as well. We're just going to pause for a second. And what am I going to do? Am I going to minimize the game? I need to do a few more things. I need to lock my mouse to the window. Auto mouse lock.exe. Nice. And I think I want to minimize the game itself. Yeah. Alright, cool. So, let's see what we've got here. We have Baltic, essentially, with a lake in the middle. This whole set is between Rodney McKay and JBR AOE, who made it into the finals. I wasn't able to closely follow Explorers of HyperRandom, just that was a lot of games too, and personal life was busy again. But I did want to look at the finals. Also, I noticed we have some fishing ship rendering things left over. That's probably a Capture Age bug. Now, let's take a gander at... Well, civs are random, of course. So we have Incas and Magyars, but those civs are randomized. Players did not pick them. Forage Bush, 163, that's not too special. Gold Mine, there are lots of piles, but they don't have as much in them. Stone, that's a castle in each pile. Especially for Incas, it's actually a castle in each pile. More or less. Alright, let's take a look. We have several rhinos. 500, 100, 100. So these two are nothing. This one's a lot. Turkeys are 78. Alright. Yeah, so we're going through the turkeys quickly. The llama, of course, will have had the standard resources. Also, I need to actually put my chat in a proper place for Capture Age. I'll do that some other time, though. Neutral boars have... Well, neutral rhinos have plenty of resources. We have numerous relics. Now, we already see a difference here. We see that our red player is going for a dock early on, while we see no dock here, and the scout is instead idle by the boars. I don't know the elo of these players. I don't know. It's not as, you know, they're not pro players or anything. But I don't don't know what it was. What the limit, maybe for the event, if we had a limit or not, or if it was just people who didn't qualify for the main event and that was the limit. Maybe it was like 1600. I would have to get back to you on that, though. I don't know that. So overall, actually, the thing too is both players did start with a fishing ship, didn't they? And and 2 scouts. I was not paying attention enough. 2 fishing ships or 1 fishing ship and it was moonwalking for a bit, and 2 scouts. So what you could do is if you bring both scouts together, then you have a good chance of picking off something. We also have 2 eagle scouts. Wait, it's always sending me to the same one. Where's the other one? Oh, one there and one there. Okay. So you can either use both to scout different places, or you can bring them together and try to pick off something, which is what we're going to see here. We're also going to speed up a bit, I would say, just through, the sneak. And this villager's actually going to get away with it. But I mean, if at a lower elo, or like at my level, scouts are idle lots of the time. And I'm, far below these players in terms of elo. Several orders of magnitude, actually. Let's see, we do get the quick walls in. And both players are on the way to feudal. I don't know, these scouts, it's only 2. One of them's injured, Loom is surely in. Yeah, I just select an individual villager, but Loom is surely in. Let's see. I think that villager's going down. Yeah, one goes down. Both players up to feudal. Oh, is that builder going to go down as well? Oh, yeah, that's another villager going down. Overall, the eco count is still even, though. We're going to slow down a bit now. Well, actually, it wouldn't have been walled anyway. There's still some shallows here and a little path there, so that's not too bad that was denied. We're seeing an archer play here from our Inca player. And what are we going to see over here? Magyars typically would go for scouts. And in Feudal Age, their scouts immediately get the attack upgrade, which is for free. That's why you usually see scouts. Overall, villager counts are completely equal, though, despite the KD. And I feel like this is a good initiative, but I think there is a sneaky sandbank here. Let's just scout a bit too. That's just alright. Both scouts there. This is nowhere close to being walled. And we see the fire going in. What do we have in here? Fire is coming out in return. There is some elevation to work with here, which could be advantageous, although in a fire ship battle, I don't think elevation matters that much. In a galley battle, it does. It does. Yeah, either this ship isn't attacking. It is attacking, we're just not seeing particle effects at all. Maybe because I minimized the game. Let me just do a quick test. If I unminimize the game, let's just watch a bit, see if we... Oh, okay, there we go. Particle effects are back. I guess Captrade can't render particles if the game is minimized. Live and learn. Also, I'm noticing that the Eagle Scout got in. It's too low HP though. Can't do anything there other than scout. It's not a fight that should be taken in that position. Overall, battle on water continues. Eco villager count completely even, although that's actually eco unit counting includes fishing ships as well. We have 3 here, 4 there. Right now, at least. Let's turn up the volume again. What are we gonna see? So we see archers coming forward. No upgrades on those. Yeah. Alright. And let's take a look here. Alright, we're just gonna see some harassing of the fish. So, at this point, both players, well, there's a hole there, but are theoretically securely walled. Is there a hole somewhere here? No. We see Castle Age coming in for our blue player already. And these archers won't get in. Or shouldn't get in, let's say. And when they do, there are already enough skirmishers behind to deal with that. So we're gonna see some water. Some water aggression in this game, I would say. And let us speed up just a little bit too. We do have a lot of games in this set, and at the moment both players are essentially not going to be doing any damage. At least until we see Castle Age come in. I heard a demo. Demos did get some hits. And overall that does clear up the fire galleys actually. There's one over here, but that did work. Skirmishers chasing the archers back. And our red player is going to be clicking up to Castle Age as well. In just... yeah, there we go. Right now. Let's slow down again. So, probably we're just going to see water continue, because here we have... alright, another set of palisades. Yeah, we have a TC being built on the golden to sort of secure this wood. That is still open, I'm pretty sure. We'll see if that ever comes into play. We now have crossbows going forward again. We have our war galley upgrade. I mean, now blue has a window, about a minute and a half, to do some damage, clear up the navy, try to break in, although breaking in might not work, maybe on the gate. The fishing ships here are successfully hiding. This, hello, is HyperRandom. Although it looks like Crater Lake this generation. Let's see. Alright, and did anyone get in? No, the crossbows. Now we have Castle Age as well. Double stable, we're seeing a siege workshop as well. So are we gonna see knights? Yeah, we're seeing knights versus crossbows and eagles. Although in reality, water is definitely the play here. Triple dock versus... well, there's still a dock there. 2 docks, but our red player isn't producing any ships currently. Gate goes down, stone wall behind already though, so... this might be a case, if you have water control, to build a transport ship. And just transport past the walls somewhere. Let's see, we've got knights massing up, we have a mangonel. And are we gonna see 3rd TC anywhere? No, we're just gonna see 2 TCs from each player. Is red gonna contest the water? I think water control, despite the fact that the fish have already nearly run out, is very crucial here. The ships are in a pit, and that does affect bonus damage, or elevation. Does confer the damage bonus and the reduced damage. However, fire ships do so little damage, I don't think it matters. For galleys, it's definitely a big difference. And we see the crossbows crumble. We see the eagle scouts, at least crumble as well. We're going to see pikemen. That's a lot of knights at this point, actually. Yeah, they will suffer. They will suffer. If they're attacking uphill, the question is basically because they do a total of 2 damage. Plus maybe 1 more melee damage. Oh hey, looks like I still have a timer with Nightbot. That's useful. Mangonels do counter archers at a low enough elo. I find they're a great counter against archers. Maybe if someone's trying to micro a lot, then you need maybe more than one, but as soon as they stop microing, all their archers go down. Of course, that doesn't work when at the skill level where people have good micro. This is a fight that the knights can take, however, with all the walling behind, probably won't help. So I do have the timer. Yeah. I mean, maybe if they had more pierce armor, they'd be a better counter. But I guess allowing for some skilled play in the form of micro is good as well. So what are we going to see here? The knights are going to get in. There are some pikemen in here. There's some crossbows somewhere. Blue does have water control. But... do archers only do 1 death damage? Do we have a mangonel anywhere right now to check? No. But you're right. You're actually right, probably. I guess it's just the sheer number of them. And the fact that you can split micro quite effectively if you bother to do it. Despite the fact that these knights are rampaging through here, Blue has the eco lead by virtue of getting 2 TCs earlier and adding a 3rd one down there, I see now. Or just keeping the TCs working more if we look at idle, I don't know. Actually, the idle TC time isn't that high yet for either player. Yo, what are the 21... I guess it's just a lot of different things. It's the crossbows. Yeah. Alright, quick walls, quick gates. The knights are sort of trapped, but they're trapped in the eco. Let's take a look. They're gonna get more kills, but there's a TC here too. Knights, they're looking low at this point. A bit of focus fire and they'll be down. Yeah, that's what we're seeing. So that push is cleared up. Red now has no military. Blue has lots of garrisoned idle eco. The question is what's next? Blue has water, and with water you can position some ships there, track anything that's coming forward. So what are we gonna see here? We see university. Why are we seeing a university? And a castle. Castle... Okay, the castle, it got deleted, not destroyed. That's good. That will... So Red is thinking about retaking the waters. That's what this means. And we're seeing cav archers, so the university is for ballistics. Cav archers against Incas. Magyars do get good cav archers. I'm not a huge fan of this idea though, because Incas get a bunch of pierce armor, especially an imp with their fabric shields. Although the pierce armor won't apply to the pikemen or to the crossbows, so fair enough, I guess. Well, let's take a look. Mangonel has, in fact, 6 pierce armor. And the crossbows with this many upgrades do 6 damage. Cavalry archers do 8 at this point. Yeah, with some micro they can pick off that. We see the extra armor, we see ballistics coming in. I would like to actually see a couple fishing ships from blue. If you have water control, yeah, okay, there aren't that many fish left, that's true. And the fish aren't particularly good either. But still free food. Once you invest the wood to a fishing ship. Alright, let's take a look. Second Mangonel now. I feel... Mega Hussars. That's a good thing, yeah. I was gonna say, I'd like to see some light cav or knights or something in the mix. Hussars will do nicely, Mega Hussars. To snipe some siege, maybe get some attack on the crossbows. But chiefly to snipe the siege. Because they do have attack bonuses versus siege when they're not dead. So we have our battle here continues. Let's take a look. Yeah, it's gonna be a long one. Long match this one here. It is pretty easy to wall overall. Relics. There are plenty of relics. There's still plenty of gold as well. Stone being raided here. What I find interesting actually is I expected Red to use this castle to cover some docks. But so far it's just been to get... I'm not sure if I wasn't paying attention if we saw any unique text come in. But I think it was just to get some Mega Hussars out. Castle here, or that castle could get denied if it gets spotted. If it gets spotted. If it gets spotted, yeah, it got spotted. Crossbows are here though. And in Castle Age, Incan villagers do benefit from scale mail armor. So they should take less damage than other villagers would. Still though, that would be a lot of villagers trying to force up the castle right now. So behind this, of course, Red is going up to Imp. Alright, we're seeing the lot of villagers play. That could be a lot of dead villagers. And we're looking at this economy graph. It's unfortunate that this castle wasn't built a bit earlier, but I think to get this up at this point, Blue needs some siege. See, the scorpions are up there. Or more crossbows / skirmishers here. Yeah, where was the siege coming from? From the forward siege workshop. This side... Alright, stone was just raided. Yeah. Alright, we have Imp come in. We have... This, I believe, gives some sort of bonus to... Or is it the one that makes Hussars free? Ooh, I don't know my Magyar text. It's either the one that gives a bonus to Cav Archers, or it's the one that makes Hussars cost no gold. I mean, gold isn't critical at this point yet. Castle does go up. And we're seeing some market abuse here to reach Castle Age. Not quite gonna be enough yet. But yeah, at this point, what you need to do as the Incan player is, reach Imp. Ah, that's interesting. Is Imp queued up? Yeah, it's queued up behind something. Alright. What I need to do is reach Imp, get the fabric shields, and then Eagles or Kameyuks would do nicely here, I would say. Ooh, or some demos on the shallows. Let's see down here, that's just the mining camp being attacked. Pike Eagle is what you think? I mean, Cav Archers have a bonus versus Pikes. But Incas can definitely do that too, or help. Also, that spot that I saw that was open earlier has been stonewalled at this point. We see all the Cav. Great, the Parthian tactics. Are these heavy? They're heavy Cav Archers. So, yeah, okay, when that's Eagle Warrior first. Ah, okay, we still have some upgrades to go here. But the timing is about right that this will come in just as Imp is in. And the resources are there for, say, Elite Eagle. What can Magyars do in that case? We've got a Treb. We see Chemistry. That will do more damage on the Cav Archers. Castles are indeed to buy time, yeah. Kameyuks could be a play, but the castles are for controlling this area here. I mean, there are a lot of resources here that these castles secure, or at least temporarily secure. We see Masonry come in even. Cav Archers have mobility, although on a map like this, I wouldn't say that mobility is that helpful. Cav Archers, like, the mobility means you can run away from pikes, right? But in this situation, I don't think ranged units are really the answer versus Incas. Although right now, there's still the potential to do damage. We have Arbalests only, and we have a bit of a Treb war going on. Let's just take a look at the HP of these units. Yep. And getting the upgrades for it. Well, Arbalest, I don't think is cost ineffective versus Cav Archers. Versus Cavalier. Will we see? Are we seeing Cavaliers? Not yet. The upgrades are there for it though, so we could. Like, I don't think Arbs are a terrible choice against Cav Archers, even though they don't have any specific bonuses. And he did have the crossbows, so you might as well upgrade them. It's not an expensive upgrade. I do still think some sort of Eagles or even Kameyuks. Eagles probably are the play here. But that requires many more upgrades that currently aren't in place. Alright, there's recurve bow. So the other tack was the one that made the Hussars not cost gold. No. I guess I noticed at the very beginning of the game, I pointed out these big stone mines. Each of these piles is basically a castle, especially if you're Incas. So we're gonna see sort of an attempt at a castle push. I think that would be made easier too, actually, with some armor upgrades on the villagers. Hello, hello. see here. Well, this is the much higher overall HP army. Both players are now fully boomed at this point. We still see more villagers being queued up, but at this point, we should see our epic battles. Also, I'll take a look at the bottom in just a second when this fight isn't happening. We see ring archer armor. Castle is placed more safely. One treb there, a couple trebs there. It looks like the cav archers are definitely winning this here. I should make myself a reminder to turn off that timer so it doesn't appear during the next stream. It's still relevant here, theoretically. Actually, this is not a best of 5 either. Let's just... How do I edit this stuff? Spectate. Casting. This is a best of 7? Is this who it's between, or? Let's just try something. Explore. Where does that text appear? Explorers of random. There we go. If I type something here, alright, I see how it is. We want that text there. Grand final. This is only my second time using Capture HD Cast. There we go. Bit haphazardly put together, but that description will do the trick. What do we see there? Elite Magyar Hussar. Let's take a quick peek at the south. Essentially, Red snuck some villagers past these ships and built a castle here to secure more gold. And is getting a castle up here too. Blue is too focused to notice. That's a bit of a mistake, because cutting off that gold would have meant that Red is out of gold otherwise. And, well, Blue has still gold there. Yeah. Of course, the Magyar Hussars don't cost gold either, so it's not like we're out of options here. And that Treb, he's too exposed. Although if the Hussars go chase other units, the Treb might actually survive. How are we doing? Do we have Elite Eagle yet? These are just normal Eagles. And not very upgraded. They need more Pierce armor. About the upcoming RMS contest. Well, I may or may not be involved. I feel like there are a couple events that I've been contacted about helping to organize the RMS parts of things. I think you might be talking about. I think this might be one of those. That being said, I might also be submitting a map. We'll see. We'll see. If there is a contest, I'll likely either be a judge or submit a map. Or some other way be involved. Alright, so we have our battle continuing here, but what it's going to come down to is gold. Because I believe Red's only gold is down in the corner. No one's bothered to pick up relics, which they really should at this point. So let's take a peek over here. What's this? A few Hussars, but Blue managed to get some stone walls in. Contained the damage largely. There's still enough wood that forward lumber camp isn't a big loss. There's the monastery. Someone is thinking about getting relics at this point. There is still gold here, and what are these villagers going to do? Currently, they're just villagers. Probably maybe to build a new castle or to repair that one. Nope, they're all gold miners. All gold miners. Yeah, same. I would say, I mean, I personally play a lot of Incas. That's one of the civs I would say I'm pretty good at. And the play against ranged units is Eagles. It's definitely Eagles. Elite Eagles, full upgrades. Or they have as much pierce armor as Huskarls, right? Without the attack bonus versus archers, but still. That is the play here until you're up against Cavaliers or something, or champions. Wow, we're seeing Onager and Siege Engineers. Yes, this is true. I mean, if single Eagles, you can send them around to pick off some things, or to annoy the siege, but for this main fight, big armies are what you need. I mean, Onagers with Siege Engineers will be good, but the problem is that we still have these Magyar Hussars, which have an attack bonus versus Siege. I think... What are we seeing behind this? We're seeing... skirmishers still a lot. What are we? Alright, that's gonna take a while. There's a siege workshop though, and it is producing a ram. Overall, I also feel that blue could have done more with water control. Like, you could still have demos probably hitting any units that get too close to the shore. You could have galleons or galleys shoot at the units here. But blue calls it GG, a big onager shot. I wasn't paying attention, but if we look at the military count, that is telling at this point. A big onager shot can certainly turn things around, of course, on all of these, but blue just didn't have the military. There was plenty of food here. Maybe not enough gold for what needed to be done. And red did go and collect the relics in the end, realizing that he was running low on gold. So that's game one for our red player. And yeah, I think Eagles would have been the play. Would have been the play here. Let's take a look at game two. I think what I'm going to do is launch it from... Actually, we could look at the post-game statistics. We could look at the post-game statistics in Capture It. Can we? How? How? I don't know. We'll just... Actually, let me just switch over to... We'll switch over to the non-capture age. Look at the post-game statistics. KD does say a lot here. Red got some good value out of his units. Alright. We had a pretty big boom from both players. Relics were only picked up at the very end. Overall, pretty even match, though. And with the random civs, knowing what to go for, that is a bit of a skill here. So our game number two looks like it's Mongols and Lithuanians, and we're gonna hop right into it. And alright, where's my OBS window? There we go. Capture age. It'll load. There we go. Alright, I need to look at capture age myself. So, Mongols and Lithuanians, 2 cavalry civs. We could see cav archers again from red. We could see relics being picked up, which we should see from our blue player. Sorry, I just had to adjust the mic. And what's the map? It's Arabia. Well, it's even flat. There are no hills at all. There are cliffs, but it's more or less an Arabia map. Red definitely has the more wallable base. Lots of wood lines around. Blue is a bit closer to the middle of the map, has more backwood lines, but has a huge resource pile in the front that's pretty exposed. The stone is even better than the last game, my goodness. Gold isn't so great in this pile, though. Let's check the other piles. We'll check the other piles. The other stone is shit. Berries are fine. And I see some gold way back there for 500. That's the 500 of gold. So it seems that they only have 2 gold piles per player, and the rest of these are probably the neutral golds, right? 4, 4, 4, 3. Oh no, that's the tertiary one. So there should be a third pile. Where is the third pile for our other player? You should see one that's 300 and something. Maybe it's these 2. 322. Let's peek around over here for that 309. Okay, that's the one over there. Alright. What else can we take a look at? We have a boar. 299. It's actually a javelina. And one for 390. That one's a bit better. We have a large ibex patch for each player as well. So I think taking a quick look at this overall, what's notable here is blue has a lot of forward resources. There are resources to fall back onto as well. However, overall blue needs to at least get in some aggressive walls, get in some military. Otherwise, this could be denied, and that wouldn't be great. Meanwhile, red has a pretty wallable base, I'd say. I think that's roughly where things stand in a Dark Age. Also, both players started with a spearman instead of a normal scout. It's worth noting that as well. Let's take a peek at where these spearmen are. They just walk past each other, just passing. Alright, let's go a bit faster again, since we are in the Dark Age. So, yeah, we're not going to see some sort of drush. Oh, we see some laming with the spearmen. This is allowed. We didn't have any anti-laming rules as such.
Yes.
And apparently there's some chatting about it, yeah. I mean, grand final of a tournament, even... Okay, in this case there isn't any... I don't think there's any money on the line, or if it is, it's a very small amount. But... you've got to do what you have to do. It's also something I have to think about when I decide what kind of units can count as scouts. Because anything that's not an eagle or a scout cavalry line can attack Gaia things. So if I upgraded from a scout, yeah, exactly. But I would then have to make it a Gaia scout. Otherwise you wouldn't be able to produce normal scouts anymore. I could do that. It's actually a consideration. I could just grant players just upgrade whatever their scout will be from an actual scout at the beginning. I could do that. That's actually something I could look into. Because there are other things you can get to, right, in HyperRandom. It used to be you could get any possible unit in the game. Now that's only the case in free-for-alls or if you start with arena-style walls. But there's still plenty of military units that you can use to lame. On the other hand, you can't lame a boar with a spearman because it will die. So it is really only for ibex. And then if you're actually collecting it already and you see your opponent go for this, well, you shoot at all of them with your villagers. I think possibly like a balance thing that the game should, that the devs should do actually, is at least for deer, make it such that if a military unit kills it, there's still food available. It'll rot as normal rather than no food being available. The reason it's not like that way is so that you can't use a boar to, sorry, can't use a scout to lure a boar, or at least that you can't use a scout to kill a boar. But honestly, you could just make it so that guy units always drop their food when they die. Any unit you start with. Well, guess what you start with? You start with villagers, so that doesn't quite work. For any unit other than villagers or something like that. And the auto scout was a big quality of life thing for low reload players. I don't think, and laming is something that more so impacts the higher level players, and is often banned in tournaments as well. So I think it's less of a thing that they need to worry about. So if we speak about the game a bit, we have our Lithuanian player going for scouts, which is what I would have expected. We also now see an archer, which is come out to deal with spearmen somewhere probably, or is going to help deal with any spearmen. There is only this one spearman right now. Red did get ahead in villagers by virtue of probably getting some kills. I wasn't paying attention, but it looks like a 3-to-1 KD, so yeah. And this is a case where the shorter wall is the larger, would have been to do this. Look at this fancy wall. Still leaves your stone exposed. Where are we fighting? We're fighting over there. We got one more kill. Fair enough. But Castle Age is still going to come in here. As I was saying, I would have, with enough scouting intel, which Red probably doesn't have because his scouts are... his spearman is dead, his scouts are dead. This would have been the place to wall, right there. Rather than this. Scouts are a useful way of converting APM into ELO. That's probably true. If you can just get a few villagers there by being very active, or just keeping your scouts active in general. Yeah, that's what I was saying before. They could just make it so that animals drop their food no matter how they're killed. It would mean that you could shoot the boar with the town center. I think that's what I had forgotten about, but that's the reason why not, probably. Because then you could just lure it and shoot it with the town center. Other than that, I'd see no difficulty in allowing food to drop. And even so, you could just allow the town center to shoot at boars. Or they could give... animals an extra armor, and only villagers have an attack versus that armor, or something like that. It would be... That would be a lot of work, but that's also possible. If we take a look at the game here, blue is up to Castle Age. Knights will clean up the archers. Red can click up whenever. And what are we going to see from our Mongols player? We see a stable that is not built yet. We see cav archers. Knights, alright, knights and cav archers, solid. And we see a town center on this. Yeah, I saw that this was an area that needed to be secured. That town center is pretty forward, but with this military it's possible to do that. Yeah, just make animals more powerful. Yeah. Overall, they've done a lot to actually reduce laming on the maps. They've made boar and sheep spawn closer on all the standard maps. They've made it so that you can't delete straggler trees by just placing a foundation on them. It isn't deleted until you actually start building. Because previously you could do like the zero risk lame where you just place palisades on your opponent's straggler trees once they've started chopping them. And just the foundation, even unbuilt, would delete stuff. That's no longer possible. What else have they done? And I think you can no longer lame fish with docks anymore either. You used to be able to delete fish. But I could bring up some of these proposals about animal laming. The pros might be against it, but that's the type of thing that I could imagine they might actually go for as Forgotten Empires as a decision to make the game more accessible. Alright, so what are we seeing here? Basically, red is stuck in feudal. Probably can't risk saving up for Castle Age with all of this army running around. And the fast castle actually worked out. I guess, alright, so the laming was on the deer even, and of course Mongols get a big benefit from the deer, so it was really a big reason to actually to go for it in that case. Knights are in. What else is there other than skirmishers? Oh, interesting, my displayed hotkey test is being used by Capture Age. Also, I think I missed that red game made it up to Castle Age. So this is less of an issue now. We have knights. Are we going to grab some relics? We should. We should. 2 TCs from each. We have redemption. There's no siege yet. It's preemptive redemption? I don't know about that. That's a lot of gold that could be spent on more monks, for example. Or sold for food or something. Unless the idea is... I guess Red spotted the siege workshop. Maybe that makes sense. Cav archers don't pick off any villagers this time around. And, well, red is playing defensively, which he can't afford to do, given the wallable base. Blue is now being aggressive, which is also necessary given the more exposed res. What do we have running around at the back here? We had a knight. Knight went down. Overall, situation is actually pretty even. Redemption is in, and that was the right decision. If blue's on point, though, cavalry archers will be able to snipe the monk. Alright. We see Sanctity as well. We have a total of 3 monks now. Do we have relics? No. Go. Wait, is there a monk with a relic trapped here? Sorry, I know there are important things happening elsewhere, but feel like there's a monk with a relic trap down there. We converted some knights, or sent them out. I think sent them out of this. Chased down the mangonel, but I want to see the relic situation, so we're gonna round. I feel like... I guess not. I guess there isn't a monk there. I thought there was a monk trap there. Alright, one relic now. 2 units that benefit from the relics. Also, Lithuanian skirmishers are 10% faster. So they have a slightly easier time keeping up with cav archers. They're still slower, of course, but we can actually take a look at the speed, because this is capture rate. They move at 1.06 footsteps per whatever unit. Cavalry archers are at 1.4. Yeah, I don't think blue can do damage here without siege. Might be able to get a lucky breakthrough somewhere. Let's see how much gold. These are not so big piles. Red's gonna need to make a move for gold soon, and red is making a move for gold right there. Blue's gonna get the siege out to pressure. We have here, I think the knight was finally chased down. Outposts. Outposts are a good way to scout. And let's take a look here. So this archery range is down. The number of cow archers is kind of low. And with the monks here too, we're gonna see... We could see 3 mangonels get converted. Or none. Or none, if they all get... all the monks go down. Well... Blue was damn lucky there that nothing got converted. Yeah, no, you're right. The easiest solution to laming is that it makes boilers slightly lower risk, but it wouldn't be a huge shakeup of anything particularly. It wouldn't impact high-level play anyway, because high-level players rarely lose villagers to boars, and it might help low-level players not lose as many villagers to boars. So that they might actually really be a solid change. You know what? Maybe I will suggest that and just see if something happens. Also, we have a castle going up here, and this castle is the reason that we see a GG. So what happened here is that the monks managed to convert 0 mangonels, which was a bit unlucky. And the 0 converted mangonels were then unable to shoot at the cav archers. And we see a castle go up. This TC is going down. Yeah. Red calls the GG. Yeah, exactly. Like, if you go lame something, the other player can go collect from it. I think that's perfectly fair. Or, like, if you accidentally kill your sheep or something, then they're rotting away, but you could still go gather from it. And I don't even think we need to see the statistics. It's pretty clear what's going on here. Let's see if we can just load the next game. Are they in order? They are. They are. Actually, we need to do something else. Casting. We'll do that. And we're gonna watch Malay and Kamura. Let's go. Ooh. Theoretically, the players have a restart or two as well. I don't know if they decided to give them 2 restarts in the end. There was some discussion about that, but I don't think they use any of them, or if they did, they probably didn't send the file. So what have we got? We have a shallow, with fish on it, with dorados that have a lot of food in them. This is a case for sending I think you build a dock and you send villagers to gather the shorefish. Or you even build fishing ships. Although you could just send villagers. Villagers gather fish very quickly. Both players start with a elite skirmisher. While luring a boar, the most dangerous part at a low level is forgetting that you sent a villager to lure the boar, and then you look at the boar and you see that there's a dead villager next to it because you forgot to send the villager back. But yeah. Yeah, no, you're right. What else should we look at? The corners are just wood. We see lots of bears. The bears do not have food. Let's take a look at these cows. Are these fat cows or skinny cows? Oh, they look pretty fat. The fruit bush is not very fat. So, the lack of this, though, lack of berries can be made up for by, okay, the boars aren't looking very fat either. Lots of cows. Players are bringing home lots of cows, and there's the shorefish. So, or deep fish, actually. Players should go for that, I would say. Because the boar is not so impressive, the javelina. Neither of them. How about the neutral ones? They're kind of far away. Those are good, but those are longer lures, and you'd run into bears all over the place. It's a nice herd of cows here. So the one thing that the current boar luring thing does, it means that there's usually a weak villager that, a villager that could be picked off more easily. That wouldn't be the... Actually, it would still be the case because you need... the villagers get damaged on the way, so that's fine. Yeah, that is actually fine. Damn it, lost a villager... Ooh, I didn't see the villager go down, but... it was a very skinny boar. It was a skinny boar. It was a skinny boar. It's actually the low food maps, the low food generations of HyperRandom that give some really interesting games, I find. I had some of those in my own sets, and those were actually the ones where I did best because my opponents couldn't play quite so much according to their game plan. Or build order or whatever. And since I don't use build orders, that's only to my benefit if my opponent isn't doing it either. But yeah, it means you have to adapt. You look around, you see where is there a lot of food at some other source? Or is there a big patch of deer somewhere? Can you find some neutral resources? I don't see a big patch of deer. Actually, I see no deer on this map. Actually, no, there are some. Let's see, 172. Yeah. So you look for what other sources of food you can find. Well, blue didn't dock because blue has all these cows sitting here. That's why. That being said, it is extra economy units at a time when you can't build extra town centers. That's why docking in general is so powerful on any map that has fish. It's because you're essentially adding villagers at a time when Red is housed because docked. But it's letting you add villagers at a time when otherwise you can't. Lets you get an economy lead. Now HyperRandom does have a chance to generate water without fish. Specifically for this reason, so you can't be guaranteed you actually have to scout and see if you see some fish. And also the fish density varies. So it's not always the case that fish is powerful. Now, skirmishers deal 3 damage, elite skirmishers. Villagers have 2 pierce armor, so the skirmisher does 1 damage per javelin. Which is why it's fine giving players an elite skirmisher, because it can't really do anything. Cows, they're not... Are they going to be stolen? They can't realistically be stolen here, right? Unless Blue just gives up on it and says, take my cow. Oh, 121. These cows aren't even worth as much as the other ones. Alright, Red is using the cow to check for... Well, actually, Red is just running the cow away as far as possible. That's what's happening here. And Blue has managed to aggro some bears. I think the only solution to this is either to bring them to your own town center or to bring them to your opponent's villagers. Or to run away forever. The elite skirmisher is faster than bears. I think, even when the bears are charging. Oh, this cow doing some exploring. Alright, we should talk about the civs a bit. We have Malay and Khmer. So, Malay can build fish traps once all these fish are gone. Although the fish traps are very exposed to raiding, can't be walled off easily, and land units could go attack them. Khmer could go for... Well, we'll see. Khmer can go for cavalry. Khmer can also go for ranged units. Malay can go for elephants. They could also go... We're seeing archers here. That's a more standard thing to do. And on this map, I'd say Blue... Probably a bit more wallable of the base. Although Red is pretty wallable. It's generally pretty wallable. Scouts versus archers is what we're going to see here. Well, the only thing is that the shallows in the back make it a bit more awkward to actually wall your base fully. Let's see, the skirmisher goes down. Scouts. Gaia MVP here. Also, I put a slight hit regeneration, HP regeneration, like 1 per 10 seconds on Gaia. Just so that Gaia units can basically heal when they're not in combat is the idea. Alright, yeah, now at this point this is just scouting, I guess, or luring the bear somewhere. Well, it distracted the spearmen long enough to not get a villager kill, but to at least pull all the villagers off gold. And now these scouts can't really do any more damage. Now, behind all this, I'd almost say that Red has the better eco. I think that's down to these 4 fishing ships. Oop, Blue found more cows. But actually Blue might make it to Castle Age faster after all. I wasn't so sure a moment ago, but looks better now. Khmer, of course, don't need to actually place their farms close to a drop-off site. However, it still makes sense to put them close to a town center so that you have units that you can garrison. Alright, that archery range is not going to go up right now. It's double stable, though. And nothing down here. Oh, that's what we have. Once again, no villagers actually going down, but this is idle time. And it is doable because all the military is forward. And behind this, Blue has clicked up to Castle Age, which will allow him to add TCs, catch up the eco deficit, make some knights probably. Although Malay age up faster, right? That's part of the reason why this melee elephant strategy works too. But I wonder, it's 66% faster, right? Like if red clicked up now, red can't click up now, though it doesn't have enough gold. He would almost make it at roughly the same time. Not anymore. Blue will reach Castle Age first. Also, this is the interesting thing about these walls, right? There's a hole here. That could be walled. But on this side, you'd also have to wall here because walling to the shallows doesn't help. That skirmishers can't attack close. I believe that's a balance reason to make them more vulnerable to cavalry. Or generally vulnerable to melee units. And for something like a mangonel, it makes sense that it can't attack up close. Because the projectile you wouldn't be able to fling it right in front of you. But for any ranged unit, you theoretically, unless you're panicking because you're being charged by knights, you should be able to shoot it or throw it up close. And skirmishers could actually just use it as a spear. This is true. That's essentially what the Romans had a lot of their infantry, right? They could use their spears or throw them. Alright, so we're gonna see knights. We're gonna see a quick castle age here. And we're gonna see some very close walls. That will do the job for the time being. So blue needs some ranged units, I think, to pressure the gold and wood. Cavalry can clear up all the fishing ships, so that's probably a good use of those units. Meanwhile, these archers are going to survive because they hid. They're going to be crossbows. There's not that much they can hit either, though. Fishing chips all go down. We see an extra TC on stone. Maybe because there was an awkward hill here. Also because this also is on wood. Let's see here. Those scouts. Knights aren't going to do anything there. Crossbow coming in. Crossbows running home. This is a big army. It's a big army, and now that they're all crossbows, it's also a bit of a scary army. We do have a mangonel at home. That's not going down right now. Well, let's take a look here. This is big because blue doesn't have another source of gold. He's gonna get one. Should probably make sure to wall off somewhere here. Although, with the mangonels, this is defendable. So let's see. Red. What can Malay go for here to help deal with siege? Cavalry, I'd say. Could honestly even go for elephants. Although maybe not with this eco. Alright, crossbows will clear up the knights here. Cameron coming in, yeah, they run away. This TC is up with lots of farms. This is almost like a sneak eco, although it's not. It might get spotted. And this... Wall this off. I know there's a hole there. Wall that off. And Blue's army is a couple crossbows as well now. Blue hasn't really teched into anything that much. I'm seeing a second siege workshop. So maybe it's just going to be siege defense for now. which works for now against Red's army composition. And Red is just going all the way in on the crossbows, getting ballistics. But it's also going to need probably some siege as well to push. Alright, we see some more walls there. Bit of posturing. But both players are just content to build up their forces right now. Yeah, that won't do anything. What have we got here? Now that gold isn't very... Is this just... yeah. There isn't that much gold because the neutral golds are only 209 a pile. So even though there are plenty of them, they're going to run out quickly. Malay, if it comes to a late game situation, do have two-handed swordsmen that don't cost gold. And infinite fish traps, although those are too vulnerable in the shallows. So I don't think that matters. Horses going down. Horses not going down. Horses healing. Alright. Are the cows going to make it home? No. Red's going to get them. Let's check on this side. There. Alright. Blue's doing a better job of expanding to neutral gold piles, I would say. And we now see the full siege, offense and defense, more or less, with a couple knights. Do Malay? None of the elephant saves get redemption, right? Or almost none of them. Maybe Burmese do. I feel like most of them don't. So you can't... Still, monks might be a good play just for the knights. Convert the knights, use them to attack the siege. I don't know how good Malay monks are. Probably not amazing. Ooh, we have a lot of low HP crossbows. Not too many casualties yet, but alright, we see some splits. Against 4, though. Yeah, there we go. And the entire army is dead. You can't out micro 4 mangonels like that. Is Red just dead here, though? That's the question. I don't think just yet, but that was bad here. And I don't... Yeah, okay, now Red is dead. I don't think just crossbows... Well, I guess there were still some spearmen in the mix, but not enough to deal with anything like this. But the real issue is these, nothing to deal with siege. Yeah, I think this is GG. When you have 0 army and your TC is being... We see villagers running. They're gonna get wood over there. Castle's gonna go up though. Siege workshop went down. Red's running villagers. Alright. I mean, if Red manages to stall, Blue's chasing more horses around for some reason. But if Blue instead attacks the villagers rather than chasing the horses, nope, Blue's really chasing horses. TC goes down, castle is gonna go up. Alright, Red's building a castle there. Well, yeah, with mangonels, of course, you can kill your own units. But they have the potential to make a really big swing in your favor. You can get a lot of kills with just a few units. That's why they can be so good. Well, that's what we saw here, right? I guess that's the beach. You would want the beach. I mean, Red's trying. Maybe he thinks he has the eco lead, but he doesn't have the score lead. That should be telling. Yeah. Mangonels. I use them when I've done a naked fast castle and have a bunch of archers in my base. Basically. Well, this is very much over. This is basically a resign already question. Alright, blue made it in though. I mean, I guess red thought, okay, I still have a lot of villagers alive, I have a lot of eco on the sides, I don't really need the space in the middle. Maybe there's still a chance. And blue's like, why are you not resigning? There you go. I think at the latest when Imperial came in, that would have been over there. So we have another win for blue. And we have our next game. So the next one is going to be Byzantines and Huns versus Huns. We'll load this one. Alright. Hey, this is the same map again. What is this? It's the same layout. But this time the water has no fish and is not shallow. In the end, we only had one of our players even go for the water last game though. And what else is different? The players don't each have one side on the water, they're more in the middle. This is a bit of a Scandinavia type thing. And what else do we see? We see a lot of hills. And the middle is pretty open. We see some forward berries. Some boars that it's hard to tell whose they even are. Let's take a quick look. So let's see. Boar 325, 325. So that's one from each player is what we're seeing there, I think. 321. Boars normally have 340 food, by the way. 321. Yeah, so we have lots of forward boar. Goats at 106. 106. And the main goats seem to be going down pretty quickly. Those are maybe less food. No, 169. Berries at 207. 800, that's standard. That's a lot of gold. A lot of stone. Even more gold. Alright, plenty of gold on this map. And we see Loom coming in early for blue. Maybe he was housed for a second, or because he wanted to be safe and not lose another villager to a boar. Or he wanted to be safe and not lose a villager to the Amazon Archer that each player started with. The Amazon Archer is basically, it's similar to a plumed archer, stat-wise. But it's a scenario editor unit, or not something that you can normally train. With 5 attack, let's see, the villagers, they don't have loom, right? Oh, I got it, these are hard to click on. No loom currently. This is... Can you... You see, the archer is fast enough that you can definitely try to steal a boar with it. Fishing traps. The fishing traps are like farms. They're very wood efficient, but they're very expensive to get going. They're like late game farms in terms of efficiency, but they cost a lot of wood to get going. I don't know the exact number off the top of my head, but I think it's not worth the investment, is the bottom line. In a situation like this, you don't want to lose your scout. On the other hand, with a scout like this, you can garrison it in your TC to heal again. And there's a potential for a lot of micro here because these are both fast units. And it's already a question if I should even allow units like this on HyperRandom. I just want to be considered a unique unit, and I want to show off as many unique, you know, scenario editor units that you normally wouldn't see. And 5 damage isn't horrible. I think I'd set that as a limit for ranged units is what I would allow. Because if you have 2 pierce armor, that's 3 damage a hit. It's still very fast, though. It's probably overpowered at high level. Both are very low. Red wins with 2 HP. Blue's going to attempt to chase, but the problem is this unit is way too fast. So red can just harass here. That's why I probably shouldn't allow all these unique scouting units, but I just want to. Oh no. These goats. Red's gonna steal these goats. And red is up to feudal. Or on the way to feudal. Early loom was a good call here, I'd say, though. It meant that blue didn't lose any villagers. And at this point, red is just scouting again, so these berries are actually safe. Yeah, did he just lame something over here? Well, he took the goats, I guess. I would take the goats, too. I wouldn't kill someone else's animals, but I will take any sheep and goats that I find. I'll just run them around to the edge of the map and back to my base. So we're on wood and gold already. This is gonna be some sort of... Actually, it could just be right straight. 21 villagers, though, is not enough for a fast castle, right? So it's gonna be a drush fast castle? Is that what we're seeing? I feel like you normally go up to feudal later on a fast castle than that. So, but we're not seeing like an instant archery range, so it is just a drush. Let's see. Blue has a lot of villagers on one wood line. Hasn't been able to gather these berries. These berries were forward. That was a bit unfortunate for blue. And he did lose the goats, so that's why we see all those farms as opposed to none of those farms. Oh, we see. Alright, so we see men-at-arms. That archery range. The thing is, militia you can just fight with villagers. Men-at-arms, you'll take some losses fighting with villagers. Or you lure them to your town center like this. Yeah. Alright, archery range is gonna go up. Civilizations, Huns are... We might see more cap archers. And Byzantines can answer skirmishers to that, which are nice and cheap. Behind this, we're gonna see archers. Are we? We might actually see lots of feudal in that case. These men-at-arms are not being super productive at this point. The Amazon Archer went down, I think, over there. Alright, let me just quickly check. My girlfriend. Yeah, there we go. I should disable streamer mode so I actually hear stuff on Discord. Yeah, let's do that. We're on game 3 of 7. What time is it? Let's see, we have a bit of archer skirmishes there. I'm gonna check the time as well. Let's take a look. Okay, actually I still have some time. StarCraft 2 grid control for the hotkeys. I wonder, I was thinking actually, I considered binding attack move to just left click or right click or whatever. But there are times when you also don't want to attack move. Most of the time, like you could almost just bind it to your main move, just have your main move action always be attack move, and then use sort of an alt thing when you want them to walk normally. But then you do run into buildings and attack them. Hotkeys are surely the better way to do it. T is over there. A is there. Yeah, I don't use hotkeys enough. I should. But I... I mostly just use the town center hotkey. That's... Blue needs to run those villagers or send them into fight. Or just pump out a few skirmishers now. Blue will make it to Castle Age, but... he doesn't even have wood. Oh no, disaster. He doesn't have enough wood to build a lumber camp. Where's he gonna get that? Quick, chop the stragglers. Disaster. Doesn't have enough wood for these lumber camp. Now there's enough, but these archers are searching. They're searching, and these villagers have to migrate. Although the archers have given up the search. I don't know. The knights better give results quickly here. Red went for some big walls. Let's see here. We're gonna lose some villagers to the bears. Alright, one villager goes on to the bears. Castle Age coming in for red as well. Blue's gonna try to use knights, but the knights have no armor and there aren't enough of them, and this is a lot of archers. Red doing the right thing and grouping up all of his military. Let's see. Castle Age not yet in. Knight count's not yet there. Red has a huge eco lead currently. I guess that comes from killing, well, 4 villagers only. But also forcing a lot of idle time with all of this walking around over here. Red's gonna hunt around some more. We have goats hiding there. Ooh, this is gonna be spotted. Siege Workshop coming up in defense. Knights run into palisades because this is now full walled. And these, when these are crossbows, that's suddenly a pretty scary army. Mass migration again. Disaster. I think red's in a pretty solid position. Unless a palisade goes down. Ah, you are forced to use... Oh, custom campaigns could set their own hotkeys. That's interesting. That's interesting. That's interesting. I wonder, is this just over? Where's blue getting wood now? Here. Blue once again has no wood for a lumber camp, probably because the farm's reseeded. Or because it's planted on siege. A big mangonel shot is the only hope here, I think. I think this is very much over unless something like that happens. And it is happening. It's still 2 military versus 25. $49 versus 36 villagers. This siege is gonna have to really achieve big results. And it's doing well. I think Cav archers really, sure they'll help pick off anything like the gold villagers at the back, but there's a house there, okay. What red needs now is something, it needs siege as well or something. To snipe this and cause pressure, not like to this. Well, guess it's not over yet. There's still a massive eco difference and army difference despite that. Let's take a look here. Cav archers there. Cav archers checking the house there. Red should check that too. Are we actually going to see this TC? I guess. I mean, Byzantines are good at defense. They do get cheaper counter units, which we haven't been seeing much of, to be honest, and more HP on their buildings. But... oh no. Oh no. Not like this. And this is why you don't go ranged units unless your micro is on point. Yeah, I mean, I could see how that would be annoying if it just unbinds your key binding. That's not great. And I guess Red is getting cav archers, but that was a bit of a throw to lose all of the crossbows to one mangonel, more or less. Red shouldn't lose this game, but that wasn't great to lose so many units to the Mangonels, and there's still Mangonels here. Let's continue. I see more cabbages going around. It's just blue is so far behind that despite everything wasn't able to make up for it. Forward gold, yes, this is true. But this is true for... red does have a back gold, this is true. Well, blue had lots of forward, all of the forward resources. That is true. That's true. Let's go like that, and the next one is Turks versus Japanese. So we'll load right into here. I wonder for a grid system in RTS. T is a bit far, although it is where your index finger is. While A is something you'd be doing with a list dominant finger, but I'm no expert in hotkey design theory. Let me just see. Alright, so we're getting a lot of the same looking maps, I have to say. This is our Side Lakes version 3. Now this one has a bit of a valley running between the two players. You can see it here. And it also has red very close to the edge, squishing his lake. T stands for too far away. Yeah. Alright. Who has forward gold this time? Red has forward gold this time. Blue has back gold this time. Blue has all back gold. Back elephant, side berries, forward-ish stone, dragon trees, elephant, skinny elephant. Yeah. I'm sad that we haven't seen more varied starts, because this is... Well, okay, fine. We've now seen the side lakes with fish. We've seen them without fish, and we've seen them as shallows, but... Yeah, with fish this time, that's... They're actually worth fighting for this time. This is true. But would have liked to have seen slightly more different layouts. Also, we've always been on the same sides, even. That is interesting. Alright, let's go fast. Because here players are basically free to do their standard build. They're also much further away than they were in some of the other games. So they have the option. Well, they have as much early aggression, probably. Lots of scouting, we see some... It's hard to click on things.
Yes.
Slow down a bit. 202 on those. Yeah. I mean, the lake... Safety of the lake isn't even the thing. The lakes are both pretty wide and can be sneak docked. But Red lost like half of his lake because his base is in it. Which also means that there's no wood at the back. And we also see some early farms here from blue. Turks and Japanese. Huh. So it's gonna be light cav versus infantry? Perhaps? Perhaps? We see men-at-arms. They're already on the way too. We see... What do we see here? I would expect a stable. We see nothing here. We see just some quick walls for now. There's the stable. There's the stable. The mill might actually go down. Is no one repairing it? Oh, the mill goes down. That's not good. That's not good. It's cleaned up now, but the mill is gone. No. Disaster. But red is full walled. Not going for water. Blue is semicircle wall, also not going for water. Japanese can go for archers, actually, and that's what we're seeing now. And we're going to see a fast castle from Turks. That's sensible as well. Well, this could be rough for blue, though. Because these super small walls aren't going to leave many safe places. Let's see. Okay, the baobab trees have a lot of wood. Emergency tower is going to make it up in time. With some losses. These villagers, well, these archers are sitting under the tower. And, ooh. Alright. I guess some knights can still clear this up. There's one. All the knight really needs to do is lure the archers away from the tower so that the tower can shoot at them. But there is still the spearman there. Actually, what the knight needs to do is snipe the spearman. If this tower goes down, that would be great. Oh, we have archers there too. We have archers here. Turks are tough to play on open maps. Alright, knights are going forward. Archers are also going forward. The knights are just going to run into walls, right? So let's watch the archers. The archers are going to deny this wood. The archers are going to run home. Are they? Should they? Maybe they should. Maybe there's some holes here. Although this is pretty well walled overall, except for the overchop. I think red is safe here. Should probably just use the archers to attack. But maybe trying to conserve them to get crossbows. You see a lot of units moving around just to check if there's anything, pick that off. Alright. Castle Age coming in. And we should see crossbow as well. I clicked on something here. I don't know how did I do that? There we go. Make that go away. Oh, that's annoying. TC deals go up though. And we're gonna see knights versus spears and crossbows. And we have two TCUs here, the second one just protecting the wood. That is important though at this point. We see second TC on the wood as well. Is this army gonna run home to defend? It might. Probably the army should, yes. Leaving all the spearmen behind? I don't think that's a good idea. Those are an important part of this fight. Or the spearmen just there to intercept reinforcements. I think I'd take them along. If you're trying to chase down the knights. And we hear a monastery there. And we don't have one here. Monastery will help against the knights. Siege. Alright, let's slow down. We're getting to a point where we can. So what's it going to be? It's going to be... Okay. Knight siege. Some of those knights are pretty low. Some of that siege is pretty low. Versus crossbows. And monks. The monks could do work with appropriate luck and micro. Mangonels, we've seen them do work in previous games. We might see it again here. Let's take a look at the HP on these archers. Alright, that's not looking great. If I'm honest, they need to run. They need to run. And red needs an answer to this, which could be redemption if Japanese get redemption, which I believe they do. It could be whatever this building is. That's an archery range. Oh, he's going 4 archery ranges? It's gonna be a lot of archers and siege. Alright, fair enough. Knights looping around. Not gonna find anything. Oh, they don't get redemption? I remember that they had decent monks overall, but maybe that's something that they don't get in their monks. Well, we are seeing quadrupling down on the archers, this is true. I don't know. You can lose a quadruple down of archers to a couple shots. But I guess if you're very careful with them, you don't lose them. We've just seen this in previous games. Red lost a pretty big, or lost a lot of crossbows in some of the previous games to a single mangonel. Actually, in the previous game, right? One mangonel wiped out all the crossbows. Red still won, though, because so far ahead. Oh, some exposed villagers. Castle is up. And we see our cav archers again. We're seeing a lot of cav archers. And housed over there. That's why all the houses. Neither player deciding to go for the water at all. Although it's like Japanese, you could really go for some fishing ships. They work faster. Does delay you a bit, but that could have been something to go for. Alright, let's speed up a bit again. Those knights will just go down. Yeah. We have castle on both sides here. I guess at this point it's a race to him. It might be. What's in this castle? Knight. Okay. Healing up. Cav, archers, taking out the outpost. See a TC there. Got a TC here. Crossbows, not seeing that yet. We have Imp coming in for blue. Red is going now heavily into cav archers. And what are we seeing? Oh, we're seeing some important cavalry upgrades that we didn't have previously for blue. Also, someone picked up a relic. That isn't so important right now. Blue's gonna have to make something work in imp here. Now, Turks do have some good gunpowder options, but there's a lot of military on the field that could cause damage. This TC is dying. Alright. This might be cleaned up. 2 castles does mean an advantage in the Treb war. Except we're not actually producing Trebs, because there's not enough gold available for that. And this is why you don't just go for archers, unless you're at an even higher skill level. Because even losing 2 mangonels, this is not a good trade for red. I mean, red was surely busy, perhaps microing down here, or checking something over there, or something, but that is the entire crossbow army gone. And suddenly red no longer has the military lead. And finally we see a Treb coming out here. See a second castle as well. We're going to see a big Treb war. Not here. More raids, hussars. But this is where the action is about to begin. And imp. 2 Trebs immediately being produced here. Blue's a bit slow on Treb production right now. Maybe not enough villagers on gold. Maybe there isn't so much gold. Is there? No, there's still gold at the back. That's fine. Raids happening there. That's a lot of outpost villagers that are going to die. But we have the Treb war beginning in the center. 2 Trebs for each. A lot of villagers. What are they doing? They're just going to go repair. Okay. Meanwhile, yeah, blue's just raiding a bit. There's still some gold around the map, but red... Yeah, no, red has lots of gold there. All fine. We have the Treb war going on. 1 Treb went down there. Heavy cav archer is in. Going for conscription. Treb war continues. Raids continue. Oh, there was a hole somewhere between those houses. It's not a huge problem, but that's a bit of a nuisance. Let's see. That castle has a lot of villagers repairing it, but it's still going to go down right about now, I think. Yeah. Blue going for Cavalier, but wasn't really able to win this Treb situation, Treb war, despite being earlier to imp. But he didn't have the resources. Doesn't have enough on gold, I think, is the issue. Doesn't have enough on gold to be making siege and cavaliers. Are we gonna see a big fight here? This could be melee pathing at its finest. No, blue doesn't have the in numbers, or the pathing advantage there to win that. Those managed to take out Trebs though, so now it's 1-to-1 Treb. And are the Trebs shooting at each other? No, that one's shooting at the castle. That one's shooting at the Treb. Cav archers are just going to take down the Treb though. See more armor coming in for the cavalry. I mean, Turks, lots of hussars could be the play here. And the food eco is set up for that. More or less. Well, you're even more on food, actually. And no one has even bothered to dock the lakes this time around. The thing is, there's not that much to raid. This is protected by a castle. This would be the place to send, actually, the raid. It's all open in the front now. Building up over there. Castle still being trebbed. We see a lot of barracks, so we're gonna see, yeah, halberdier. Japanese infantry to attack faster. That is a solid tech switch to be making right there, but that will also require some upgrades. Raid is in. Overall, red has the eco lead though. So can afford some losses here. And we see an attack here at the same time. Cav archers are just chewing through this though. How much pierce armor do these hussars have now? They have 7 pierce armor. That's pretty good actually. But it's not a big enough mass of them. This is all cleared up. We have some raids here. We're doing a good job with map control, making sure that checking for villagers all over the place, raiding what he can, but and bombard cannons. I was wondering when we'd see those. Honestly, would have expected them almost a bit earlier, but a little bit short on resources upon reaching him. Are they really? I guess you might as well just shoot at the cav archers. You don't want to get sniped though. Huh. I'm surprised. I thought this game would have been over one way or another already, but the skirmish continues here. Neither player has any trebs right now. Red currently doesn't have any siege, doesn't have enough halbs yet. Blue's going for heavy camel. Blue doesn't have any camels yet. Camels do have additional attack versus cav archers, but they have less pierce armor. So it's not... They can chase the cav archers, and they have an attack bonus, but they also die more easily to them, so it's not the best counter. Yeah. I'm right here. The play is just to go hussars. Right, you go a bunch of hussars, you use bombards to snipe. Trebs use bombards to snipe some of the halbs, and if it's way too many halbs, you can go into janissaries or hand cannons. Probably hand cannons, since the castle's not going to survive. Yeah, there we go. There's some janissaries. But we still have the cav archer mass in the base. And the camels aren't going to do great with halbs on the field. Yes. Oh, absolutely. 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 I would be wrecked in a 1v1. but I can still here to criticize tech choices. And that just goes to show how high the level of play in AoE 2 can just be. Because even I, as pretty low noob, am actually like as good as half the player base who plays ranked. And these players are surely like top 10% of players, probably even better than that. There are a lot of people who play casually. And there's really a high skill ceiling that you can get to. Alright, red going for some eco-techs, lots of eco-techs, some of which could have come in earlier. Heavy plow, hint hint. Speaking of eco-techs, alright, camels. I don't know, I mean, the economy is equal for both. Red has maxed out population though, and blue just doesn't have much military and has the Halbs running through his base. The heavy camels are now actually clearing up some cav archers, this is true. It is good. And what we have, the hand cannons, yeah, I mentioned a moment ago, they are going to deal with the Halbs. I thought blue was dead, but not yet. Not yet. A thing here is gold. Gold, there's gold there. Gold is starting to run out. There's gold there, we're seeing a TC on that. Gold is starting to run out. You have 0 on gold for red, 4 on gold for blue. And blue's army is currently only gold units, with the option to make hussars again. Well, red can probably get a lot of longevity out of the cav archers, but we'll then have to make halbs. But at this point, it comes down to gold control. We do see that there's some relics in red's possession. Top 5%? Yeah, that sounds about right. That would make sense. Arson! You might as well get some value out of your halberdiers. Castle, there's still stones, so castles are the play. This could be a real long game, actually. On the other hand, it could go over quickly if, say, these cav archers kill everything here. Sniping the bombard cannon would be big. Bombard cannon, bombard cannon. Is sniped, yeah. And alright, red put the villagers on gold. He's getting siege engineers. And blue calls GG. Doesn't have an army at this point, and still has a bunch of cav archers to deal with. Like this is one where it probably could have gone on even longer, but gold control was running out, I suppose. Blue could have chosen to fight this even longer, given all of this eco over there too. I guess there were some halbs there, and blue didn't really have anything for halbs. Turks don't really have any good goldless options for dealing with halbs. Yeah. Yeah. Well, this is what we saw. I think the camels did help clear up the raids a bit, but of course they die easily as well, so Turks was always going to be a tough matchup here. Alright, let's get our next match, which is Slavs and Vikings. We could see infantry. We haven't seen infantry at all. Well, that's not fair to say, actually. We could see a Faetoria. We haven't seen heavy infantry play. We've seen a lot of cav archers. But this time, players have to be on their toes because they have a Faetoria, they have a resource trickle from the start. Faetorias can be destroyed, they can be destroyed by feudal aggression, they can be converted in Castle Age. There are lots of interesting options. We also have some shallows here of no particular importance. And we have fish all over the place as well, or dolphins even. Maybe players will dock this time, maybe they won't, they didn't dock last game. They do have lots of resources trickling in. Also, currently HyperRandom doesn't give enough houses on Faetoria starts, so you have to basically send all your villagers to build houses at the start. Doesn't mean you get instant loom as well. Now this definitely can lead to some interesting games. Let's see, gold, we have stone. Let's check the rest of the gold. There's some gold that's kind of far away. We have lots of gold. Right. Both players are in a bit of a crater. Both players have, well, blue's gold is sort of on the side, red's is a bit forward. Controlling this hill in the middle will be everything. From that you could shred down either base. This Faetoria is more forward than this one. That might make a difference if it's subject to early aggression, or aggression in general. Faetoria. Let's see. Yeah, there we go. Feudal Age from each player, 5 minutes, 12 villagers. What I always thought should be the case, but isn't the case, I suggested this to the Capture Age guys, is to have the Faetoria count as 20 villagers on the eco count, or 20 eco units, because it is consuming eco population. So if you have a Portuguese player versus another one in Imp, this thing looks super skewed when it really isn't. Yeah, they're not as efficient, but I'd say the population is what this thing is trying to show, not the efficiency of the units provided by the population. So, this is what I want to see now. Are we going to see... Are they going to attack somewhere over here, or are they going to actually attack the Faetoria? No, they're going for the barracks. Okay. Like in the main Masters of HyperRandom event, one thing that we did see, and it even worked in one of the games, was essentially, I think, like, full feudal on the Faetoria. You know, men-at-arms, some archers as well, maybe even a tower, and then you take it down. And then, yeah, you have to be able to survive the Castle Age pressure, but at that point you have a nice eco lead. We had a really interesting game there. Alright, we got stone walls. Attack here. It also costs stone and gold to repair. And I don't think it produces enough to out-repair damage to itself. That's just a scout running around being chased by villagers. Ooh, hill bonus? Nah. Stone wall behind. Players do have plenty of stone to spare, so they can just be a bit more generous in stone walling in feudal. Castle Age coming in for blue. Castle Age not coming in for red because red invested more in aggression. We also see 2 archer ranges. Oh boy. Let's not lose too many archers to Gaia. I don't know, this aggression hasn't done so much. I think this is of course something that there's no real established measure for, but I think the play in this case might have been to send the aggression over here. Breaking through, of course, would be big, but it's not going to happen. Red didn't really make enough happen. Should have enough resources for Castle Age development. But the scout got in from the other side, I guess. Oh, maybe it broke in there, or just walked through, or it was trapped in there, or it ran around the outside. Probably ran around the outside. Also, you'll note neither player has built a dock, again. But it's probably that these players just prefer to play land, which is true of the majority of the player base. Even here, though, I don't think you can ignore water, really. You could still get a nice eco boost from all of this. Alright, Knights, clear that up. Let's go. Castle Age coming in, full walls, probably in unless there's a hole. Doesn't look like there's a hole. I feel like that spearman was actually poking through the wall, I'm not sure. Gates are of course very vulnerable, so you put the wall behind. What have we got going on over here? Just a wolf. Castle Age in, we're gonna see crossbows versus knights. So Vikings no longer get thumb ring for free, right? Or they didn't get it for free, but they no longer get thumb ring, right? That's the difference. But people still play them as an archer civ, despite all the attempts to make them more of an infantry civ with the buffs to berserks and everything, and nerf to the archer play. This hill is big. Both players currently have part of it. Red has a bit of the issue that his gold is more exposed. That's currently the only gold he can take. That would also be on a slope. While blue can more safely take the gold in this part of his base. But blue has an exposed Feitoria compared to red, so maybe those advantages cancel each other out. Probably what matters here is who gets a castle up soon. Like a castle there. Yeah, there, somewhere here. Or here maybe. This is the optimal spot for a castle for either player. To secure / pressure this gold. I don't know. Red has gone for the crossbow play a lot. Red has also lost a lot of archers, well, crossbowmen or arbalists to mangonels. And alright, let's slow down a bit. We have that's might break through at some point. We have the castle here. Red can't deny this. And this is big because then blue just needs to camp over here and red is starved for gold, although there's still some gold trickling in. I suppose the castle will actually need some fletching. Maybe Bodkinero to reach the gold. Blue's looking pretty dominant. Here. Both players have lots of food in the bank right now. Let's see, this castle, it's not ranging the gold yet, that's what I thought. It needs some range upgrades. Or blue's just at this point just using it for map control, but okay, now knights have scared off the villagers. Red's gonna try to go there, red's gonna run into a knight as well. And red's definitely on the back foot. Probably... Where is the military? Oh, it was... They were in the TC. Fair enough. But imp behind this. Pikeman. Well, well. No gold, though. No gold access. 4, apparently, I guess. Ah. Right, that's the gold. Well, that will sustain red for a while. So, knight's trying to break in here. So just eco upgrades. Ooh, castle here. That... There's no military. No military to help us up. There's a town center that covers part of the foundation. Okay, there are a couple pikemen. Pikemen all go down because they're busy attacking Mangonel. Yeah, I think there were quite a few losses there. Castle still isn't up. Go garrison all these villagers, send them, yeah. And now garrison them again before too many of them die. That was rough. Red will be an imp. Somehow there's 17 military. I guess it's these crossbows and maybe there's some garrisoned pikemen somewhere. Blue's gonna get a castle there. So at that point, red has... Well, that's a lot of gold, as long as blue doesn't spot it. Blue's guarding all these resources, but red is pretty boxed into this corner here. And tower advantage as well, or hill advantage. Even though we could see Trebs. See... Oh no. No. No, not like this. Not like this. I mean, was that worth it? No. No, it wasn't. Oh, those Arbs. Well, it wasn't that many Arbs, but they're all gone again. And we see Berserks with no upgrades. Red has lost too many archers to Mangonels this series. Blue is scouting, hasn't found that. I don't know, what can red do here? The eco situation isn't looking pretty either. The whole population situation isn't looking good for red here. Selling wood to get more gold. Blue's basically trying to control the gold. That's what this is all about. And blue just... Once blue finds this, I think it's over. Even if this castle goes down, which it will. Those gates actually were a nice play. And this gold is going to be mined. Fair enough. But Cavaliers are coming in. I think now red is dead, surely. I mean, this castle can be destroyed even uphill, but it's not very many arbs. There's still all of this siege threat. Yeah. So it's 3-3, and we have one more game as the decider in this set of 7. Which I knew that was coming. I saw when they posted it that it ended. That it was a very close series. I also knew that there would be one Feitoria set. So we'll see who wins in the final match here, which is Italians and Cumans on HyperRandom again. And don't give us the 2 lakes on the side map, please. Give us something else. Alright. A land map. Players start with... Oh, it's a trebuchet icon, but it's in fact, it's a packed town center, not a packed trebuchet. That's a capture H bug. This is a packed trebuchet. Packed town center. Players can unpack this town center. Yeah. Once they find a nice spot. What else is there? Typical land map, but huge woodlines. Huge woodlines. Gold. Stone. Standard enough. It's not really standard, but it'll do. Food, 60. 60, and not so much food on the things. Interesting. I hope that Red realizes that this can be unpacked. Because if Red just uses this as a scout, maybe you can't find a good spot. Ah, there we go. So it's basically a 2 TC start, a bit delayed, and you can choose where to put it. Blue found a very nice spot. Wood, gold, stone, all there. Red probably couldn't put it, tried to put it on this gold, but there are too many hills. The berries are a decent spot too. And we will see. Players are pretty close to each other. Let's take a quick look at the boars too. Do we have skinny? That's a fat javelina if I've ever seen one. That one's hiding. Okay. Let's check this one. That one's not too skinny either, and this is the really fat one, right? Yeah. So players now have 2 TCs.
Yes.
Which is an interesting start, yes. It means they need 12 villagers on food, more or less, to maintain villager production. So they need to adjust their build to have a lot more villagers on food. But the game will get going faster overall. And we'll have a pretty big eco by the time we reach Castle Age. It's just a bit awkward at the beginning. If you're not used to it, you can't just rely on your normal build orders. Or you could just ignore the second TC, but that would be giving your opponent an advantage. Also, because their scout was the pack TC, they now have no scout. So both players are scouting with villagers. Like, Red managed to find a nice deer patch. Yeah, a very nice deer patch. Well, there's some food to be had further out. And Blue is farming. Oh, found the fat javelina. Already has, well, found both javelinas. The deer patch is... Ooh, Blue found a berry patch. That might be worth milling. Basically, they just have to run the villagers around to hunt for good sources of food. And both players are farming, yeah. And despite the difficult start, both players have roughly the same population. Red's gonna click up first because he's housed. Like, I already got loom. What else am I gonna do from housed? Let's click up to the next stage. Because that's the other thing. If you have multiple town centers, or if you have a dock, you have to remember to build a lot more houses than normal. That villager is gonna be fine. Blue scouting with the villager still. That's what you want to do, actually. Pros don't like to scout with villagers. They want all their villagers working, but if you don't have any other scouts, you might as well. Alright, we're going to see the middle walled off. It's going to be archers, Cumans, versus what are Italians going to do? Archers as well, probably. Nope, we're going to see a staple. Italians can do a lot of different things. Question is also what kind of military you can sustain with 2 town centers. Blue has 30 on food. That's actually pretty impressive. Alright, got a mill back there. And because the woodlands are so huge, this is actually a full wall. This is a wall across the entire map. Blue has an outpost villager here. Both players built outposts there. Yeah, Blue's done some serious outpost scouting. Outpost villager is going to go down. Castle Age coming in for both players. Are we going to see Cav Archers versus Knights? Or no, we're seeing stables. We're going to see Knights versus Knights. Yeah, everyone's building outposts everywhere. Makes sense. Makes sense if you have no starting scout. Alright, those out. I guess the archers were just an attempt to break through. Or attempt to see if full wall could be prevented, but everything is full walled now. These are just sheep and outposts. There's another outpost here. Oh, knights. Around. I don't remember how to toggle Fog of War on cap trade, so I'm just gonna not bother. But rest assured, Blue knows pretty well what's going on a lot of the map. And Red knows at least what's going on his side of the map everywhere. Didn't manage to get a sneak in. And if we look, relics, there are 2 inside this part of the base, 3 on the top of the map, and 1 locked away in the corner. Neutral res, there's probably, yeah, there's more of it in the north. It's a bigger area. Ah, okay, camel, a camel to help with the knights, that makes sense. 3 camels. Humans do get camels. Their cavalry does get a bit faster each age, which will help. And with this much walling, there's definitely the potential for this to be a long game. Let's see, we're just gonna do some chasing here. Red. Alright, red catches the knights after all. There's still some knights running around over there. Blue is blue's still building all over the place. Is this a fortified? No, it's just a stone wall. Blue is very secure here. And honestly, who do I favor in this Civ matchup? Well, Italians get Genoese crossbow once they have a castle. which is good versus all of this cavalry. Currently just going for pikemen, which is fine versus all the cavalry too. And Kumans can go for Kipchaks or Cav Archers to deal with pikemen, for example. We also have some siege here. Ooh, we see Step Lancers. Let's slow down so we actually see Step Lancers in action. Now, Step Lancers will help. The good thing is they can attack from range. They can easily chase down villagers. They can also, you can also have more of them can get a good angle to attack spearmen like that. Pikemen. What have we got running around in here? Some knights. They won't be able to do any damage right now. Okay, that's probably a good castle position, actually. It secures some gold. It secures this middle area overall. Will create an opening. And it's on a hill, too. Just make sure the castle doesn't die to siege before it gets built. Red opting not to go for the castle here at the present time. Alright. Red wall himself in. Blue's destroying some houses. This is just a mess of random buildings all over the place. I love the map. Big fight here, red opting for the slightly more defensive castle. Yeah, I was thinking about that, right? If you have a mixed cavalry force, then the Step Lancers could deal damage out of the second line. While even camels theoretically can be in front if you're up against cavalry. Knights are probably generally the better tank there, but see, if they're only Step Lancers, then none of them would be in the first line, but this... There's definitely some potential there. Yeah, because with this many Step Lancers trickling in, pikes does nothing. Let's see, what have we got? Bit of a raid running around. Step Husbandry, yes. That will make them attack faster if I recall correctly. Or it gives them more armor. I feel like it's attack speed. Problem is I can't cheat sheet and look at the tech tree and capture age. Castle creates an opening here. There will be a counter castle. Are these Step Lancers trapped? Surely not. They probably just killed the villager and are now over there. All of that stuff doesn't matter, actually. That's just an outpost. Step Husbandry? No, we just saw it being researched over there. Passive bonuses don't have names. Step Husbandry, I think it's... I want to say it's tax speed on light cav and Step Lancers. However, that would be Bulgarians' stirrups. But I guess that applies for stirrups. That applies to a different. It applies to their knights as well, doesn't it? Maybe I think maybe it is just attack speed. Alternatively, it's like +1 pierce armor or something like that. In any case, these Step Lancers are in, and they're doing work. Are we seeing... No, those are just villagers. Italians can do Genoese crossbowmen. However, those require... Okay, there are the upgrades. That might be a good answer, but it does require getting enough of them. Also, this army could be clearing up the raid. We have a bit random counterattacks here. This is... it's distracting a lot of units, so it's worth doing that. Raid is cleared up. We don't have any Genoese crossbows yet. We have normal crossbows. Alright. Make Genoese crossbows. Not normal crossbows, no. Normal crossbows aren't what you need in this situation. There's the imp coming in. More armor. Genoese crossbows. The normal crossbows have the advantage that even if you lose the castle, you can upgrade them into arbs. And do they have more range? I feel like they don't. Make Genoese crossbowmen. Another castle here. Blue is a very defensible position. And has random buildings all over the place. Stable there for random raids. I think that's probably a trapped knight. You'd have to delete the stable to let the knight out. Barracks over there. Stables in the back. Red needs to clear this up. Just send some Step Lancers. At least snipe the villager. Exactly. Yeah, just clear up all this shit. Clear up the outposts. Yeah. I would like to see Genoese crossbowmen, and I am not seeing any. Red's holding back right now. You have a trebuchet being built. This is true, clearing up this stuff does cost, but I mean the main push, any main push here is going to have to go through castles on either side. Elite Step Lancer. So while the main push isn't happening, you might as well clear up what you can. Although Step Lancers aren't... Apparently they don't do so much damage. They do less damage than Knights, yeah. Takes a while to actually destroy the buildings. And this has been quite effectively walled behind. We're seeing more upgrades here. Trebs are going to begin the attack. More armor on the Elite Step Lancers. Yeah, they now have 11 plus 1 attack. They still haven't cleared up the stables. It's interesting. We don't get to see Step Lancers very often. Blue... I'm not sure. I would have said Genoese crossbows here. And, I don't know, bombard cannons or trebs or something. And look at all this gold here. Or make just hussars, like have something just constantly raid them to death. But the problem is Step Lancers can attack through a gate. They're not doing it, but they could. Blue's going for arbs. It does require, you know, you do need to know tech trees of all these civs, you know what their unique units do, but You'd expect these players to probably know that. The only downside to going Genoese crossbows is if you lose your castles, which is what's happening. You lose your production, while the arbalests you can always easily just build more artillery ranges somewhere else. But I would have gone for those. Genoese crossbows to defend siege. Genoese crossbows like next to your own trebs and just defend them with that. And then something or another to chase down raids. What I'd say. I guess maybe blue's been booming a bit. And that's actually been the gameplay behind this. I see 140 villagers. There is gold for years back there. Red must have a clump of gold like that too. We're not going to hunt for it right now. The fight's going on. Step Lancers don't have... They only have one base pierce armor and no base melee armor. So they're a bit more of a glass cannon type of thing. Yeah, exactly. Something like that. Pikes, Genoese crossbows, bombard cannons. Something like that as a combination. Italians can certainly do arbalests, but they did clear up this. But what's blue's military? It's just How are we doing? There's still a stable there. That's where Cavalier is being researched. Fair enough. Bit risky, but it's not threatened right now. But this... I think the Step Lancers win that. I think the Arbs do 9 damage, Step Lancers have 5 armor. Yeah. And with this food eco, that would be enough to go raid around here. Just force the Step Lancers to chase you around while building up some defenses here again. This is all open. If these just split up into like 3 groups, one goes there, one goes there, one goes somewhere else, the Arbs can't deal with that. Okay, though, there we see chemistry now. Just came in. So we'll see the bombard cannons. There they go. And we see more stables behind, lots of stables. Cavaliers should do well against Step Lancers? Question mark? They should. If you have enough of them. And I guess with Arbs together as an army, it'll do fine. But Cavaliers aren't ready yet. Guess they're doing... Hard to say. Who's winning that fight? Red lost a lot of units. I guess that's the problem. Step Lancers aren't that great in straight up fights. There we go, there are the bombard cannons. What you mix into this is red. Kipchaks? Maybe. Or, I mean, Kumans can go... They can go Paladin. There's no particular reason why you have to go Step Lancer here. besides Step Lancers being an interesting unit. Also, that's a lot of trebs. But not a lot of units to defend them anymore. Yeah, I mean, Paladin, of course, is expensive and slow to research, but at the moment ago, I was looking at enough resources to afford it. Now they're all being spent and queued up steps. Let's see, how's the random raid from behind going? I think this probably the stables has a gather point, like somewhere down here. Probably something like that. That castle's gonna go down before going up. That one will make it, but blue calls the GG. Step Lancers for the win. Yeah, well played, well played. And well played to both players in all of these sets. It's fun to cast these. It's good games here, back and forth. And the final win goes to JBR AoE here for Explorers of HyperRandom. Grand final. Well done. Well done. And it was cool to see Step Lancers. I had to see them work out. So, time to quit Capture Age. We can look at the statistics for this match. I didn't show them for the other ones because I didn't want to switch out of Capture Age. Yeah, it was actually... Well, they spent a long time sort of skirmishing around. And blue finally lost all the army there defending. So there we go. Thanks everyone for coming by now. The VOD will also be available on my Twitch. I'll save it as a highlight so it'll be available forever for people who weren't able to watch it right now. I did. I made the map. Yeah, that one is good too. Then based on that, we decided to make it standard victory for the actual tournament because we wanted there to be another way out in case it was too stalemate-y. Surprisingly, we didn't see wonders very often at all. Yeah. It was good fun. And hopefully we'll be able to do something like this again. Maybe in the fall. We'll see. Alright. Yeah, thanks for watching. And I'm going to call it a night. Yeah, I'm going to call it a night. I have some people who want to do something with me. Alright. Thanks for watching, everyone who's watching the VOD. Hope you enjoyed my casting. Hopefully I offered some insights that were of interest. That's all. Enjoy your day.